Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man a fish, he'll waste thousands of dollars at Bass Pro Shops.
One thing I love about
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Give a man a pecan, he can stick it in the ground and eat 50 years later. Sometimes things don't find their way to the mainstream if it takes 50 years.
It's her. We're living on the fringe, aren't we?
It's triads, but you don't ever hear them that way.
I also want to tell you about my friend Chris. I want to be really careful because Chris is honestly just a super modest and super generous guy. And I know he does not want his praises to be sung. I know that. So, about my friend Chris, what can I say? Thank God. Thank God. Here with my friend Chris. I've talked about Chris before. This is great. I've been filming Chris a lot, but here we are together. So me and Chris were friends, roommates in college.
Before we were friends before friends. We were friends when friends weren't cool. We were country when friends didn't exist. When we were friends when country wasn't cool. That's what I'm trying to say.
We used to have this saying, like, if you can't say something nice, say something funny.
Yeah.
We realized at some point how wrong that was, didn't we?
Oh. Yeah.
What I mean is we realized that
that's not a good.
we realized that it could hurt people.
Yeah, in a funny way.
We would label one another as the funniest, and somehow that was like, you're the funniest.
No, you're the funniest. That's what we did.
That's what we did. What was that funny?
To us. Yes. Only to us. There were a lot of
There
things.
was a lot of things that were only funny to us. Yeah. Right. It's good to remember. Yeah. It's because of the depth.
Yeah. Travis, my friend Travis, is always going for the depth. There's this verse in the Bible that says, when deep calls to deep, that's this guy. Like, yeah, if you got some depth, he's gonna find it and call into it. And that's what he does.
That's so now there's first-hand testimony right here.
Deep calls to deep.
That's what we're doing.
Yep.
This is Chris and I have been engaged in a deep conversation for many years.
Yes.
Chris got me a gig at a church, a forming church. Really got me a gig at a hotel.
Yeah.
A hotel gig. That's what you got me.
A church.
But it was a church that was meeting at a hotel.
Yes.
Yeah, and he said it's $50 a week, and I was like, wow, that's a lot. But he said it could be a lot. It could become a lot more. And because of that experience, I had this really powerful born again experience. I received some kind of something happened in community. In that little community, there was a holding, there was a loving, there was opportunity, there was
born again is a good word for it. These days I like to stick with more of the terminology that Jesus actually used.
Okay.
So, like the idea of accepting Christ was not in the Bible. That terminology is not in the Bible. Accepting Christ, yeah.
Okay.
He does not need our acceptance.
Okay.
Because he's all powerful. All powerful beings don't need our approval, nor our acceptance, nor our mental assent.
Nor do all powerful beings wish to be worshipped.
Well, it's a natural byproduct. It's a natural byproduct.
It's a natural byproduct of being the manifestation of the one.
Yes, you were born again, just like Jesus said to Nicodemus. You have to be born again. And they're like, what? And they're like, well, the wind blows things. You don't see the wind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's you, my friend. I see you moving in the Spirit of God, even though I don't see the wind.
Interesting.
You can't see the wind, but you can see the effects of the wind.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You can't see the gout, but your foot hurts. It's kind of like that.
The kingdom of heaven. It's like a gout-ridden toe.
No. You're taking it too far.
That is kind of what I did.
I mean, it was my fault. I started it.
I took it so far that everybody at church was like, do you really believe this stuff or what?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I do.
Mm-hmm.
And that was exciting. I learned so much from that group of people, really. And it was a small church, and so there was a participation there, which for me, I think, was super important. That new life experience, born of water and born of spirit.
Yes.
Or the kingdom of heaven is like a seed that goes into the ground, that it dies, and then of that seed is a new birth, right? There's this death and this resurrection, right? There's a first incarnation into this world, which is of the flesh, and then somehow we are to transcend the flesh by being born of the spirit.
A lot of seeds you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
So to plant one means that you have to give up a short-term vision. In the interest of having a long-term vision. If the seed is a almond or a pecan, actually we'll say pecan.
A pecan. Pecan?
Yeah, if the seed's a pecan, you can eat it that day, or you can plant a tree and enjoy lots of pecans, but it's going to take a while.
Like 50 years. That's a long time to not eat a pecan.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Don't be so short-sighted, pecan eaters.
That's one thing I love about
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Give a man a pecan, he can stick it in the ground and eat 50 years later. That was the original way that saying went, but it didn't catch on. Sometimes things don't find their way to the mainstream if it takes 50 years.
It's her. We're living on the fringe, aren't we?
Yeah. Teach a man to fish. If you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man a fish, he'll waste thousands of dollars at Bass Pro Shops. That's what we've learned.
That is one of the things we've learned along the lines of this upward spiral about the evolution of consciousness, is that we will spend a lot of money on boats.
Yes.
Once we've reached a certain stage in Maslow's hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
The boat is...
The boat. Yeah. There's self-actualization and boats.
Where does that... Is the boat come before the actualization?
It can aid towards
Is it?
something. But...
Yeah. Along the lines of labor and the expression of worth, my friend Chris has informed, we were talking about earlier tonight, we were talking about what it means to be informed. We were talking about people who listen to the news every day, and is that what it means to be informed? What are the different ways that we may be informed? Our friendship has informed me greatly. And I recently Chris and I we interceded together. We decided that our acts were some kind of intercession in this world. We worked together and learned from one another.
Yeah.
And discovered new things about ourselves in the midst of this great, intense working of things. And we also gave one another room. I witnessed a great strength. I witnessed a great strength in this man and a great respect for the life that he has lived. And I want to remember that. I want to document that and just acknowledge that it's true that the gig did turn out to be a lot more than $50, you know, and I want to keep nurturing that seed, and saying yes to the death when the surrender, you know, when that is appropriate, and then also knowing that resurrection. And yes, Chris helped me come into a resurrection, and that's pretty informative. That you know, as far as like being informed, kind of understanding that there's an undercurrent, that what we see in this world is not everything. That there's something else going. There's something deeper. There's more depth, right? There's something deeper happening here.
The unseen.
Right. And so it's the depth, and this is what labor and the expression of worth is about: is understanding what has worth, what has depth. And so I view our time that we've spent in the context of that project, and I'm grateful. I'm really great. Thanks for participating in whatever it was that we're doing here, where we're talking to each other and to a camera.
Yeah.
Like some kind of audience, right? Are we speaking to an audience? Or
what?
I don't know.